Hey guys, close your eyes, get comfortable, and let yourself drift into the past. Tonight, you're not just lying in your room with a phone or headphones. You're stepping back into a world where none of the things you take for granted, television, phones, books, radios, or music players, existed. A world where nights stretched long and silent, and where boredom wasn't something you escaped with a quick tap on a screen. Instead, it was a daily companion, one that people had to learn to live with, and somehow turn into something meaningful. Imagine this. The sun sets earlier than you expect, and darkness swallows the land. There are no streetlights glowing outside your window, no neon signs buzzing, no background hum of machines, just pure blackness. The only light is the flicker of a fire or the dim flame of an oil lamp. For most of human history, this was the reality. The night was not filled with movies, playlists, or glowing notifications. It was filled with silence, sometimes broken only by the crackle of wood or the call of a night bird. You can almost feel how heavy time must have been. Each night lasted hours and hours, and once work was done and meals were eaten, there wasn't much left to occupy your hands or your mind. If you were lucky, you had company. Family gathered around the hearth, neighbors sitting together in courtyards, or even animals breathing softly nearby. If you weren't, then the night became a test of your patience. Imagine lying awake, no glowing clock to check, no music to distract you, just darkness, your own thoughts, and the endless ticking of time in your head. This silence, this emptiness, was something our ancestors knew very well. To them, boredom wasn't an occasional nuisance. It was a shadow that followed them daily. Yet, people are endlessly creative. When the world gives them nothing, they find ways to invent, to imagine, and to transform the simplest moments into something richer. This is where the story begins. The story of how people, long before entertainment existed, fought boredom with their minds, their voices, their hands, and their communities. Think of the long winters in medieval villages, where snow sealed people inside their wooden homes. Days were short, nights unbearably long. With no novels to read and no electricity, families huddled close to the hearth. The fire was not only warmth, it was light, protection, and, in many ways, entertainment. Watching flames dance, listening to the wind whistle. Through cracks in the walls, these were small shows. Nature provided for free. Children might stare into the embers as if they were tiny worlds, imagining castles, forests, or monsters hidden in the glow. And then imagine the desert nights of ancient nomads, when the sky was vast and filled with stars so bright they almost hurt to look at. In those nights, silence wasn't frightening. It was cosmic. People lay on the ground, staring upward, tracing shapes in the constellations. Each cluster of stars became a story, a memory passed from one generation to the next. The heavens themselves were the great cinema of the past, offering new shows every season. Of course, boredom wasn't only a nighttime problem. During the day, when fields were plowed or animals grazed, there were long stretches of monotony. People learned to hum to themselves, to tell stories while working, or to play with simple objects they found around them. A smooth stone became a toy, a carved stick a tool for games. What you might dismiss today as nothing special was, in that time, a spark of amusement. But when the darkness stretched on and on, people had to rely not just on objects or sights, but on one another. Conversation became one of the oldest entertainments. Sitting in a circle, talking about the day's events, retelling family histories, sharing gossip about neighbors. All of these filled hours. You can almost hear the low murmur of voices in a candlelit room, laughter breaking the silence, or an elder's deep voice weaving a tale of heroes and ghosts. For them, time passed not because of screens or machines, but because of words and imagination. Think about how different your sense of time would be. Today, if you're bored, you press a button and instantly watch something new. Back then, time was slower, heavier. The minutes didn't race past. They crawled. Every moment had to be endured, and every activity stretched to last longer. A simple meal wasn't eaten quickly. It was savored, shared, and extended with talk. A chore like mending clothes wasn't rushed. It became an entire evening's focus. Slowness was not optional. It was life itself. Yet in this slowness, something else happened. People became more attuned to little details. The rhythm of footsteps on a wooden floor, the way a flame bent when the wind shifted, the creak of a chair in the silence. All these small sounds were noticed. They filled the space in the same way music fills your headphones now. In boredom, people discovered presence, awareness, and imagination. So, as you lie here listening, try to picture yourself in that world. No glowing lights, no buzzing notifications, no endless scroll of content. Just you, the dark, the faint sound of firewood cracking, and the slow breath of people around you. You would feel restless at first, but then something inside you would change. You'd begin to listen more closely, to notice more deeply, and maybe even to dream more vividly. This is where our journey starts. In the silence of long nights, in the quiet hum of boredom. Before humans built theaters, printed books, or streamed movies, they faced the empty hours bravely. They turned nothingness into stories, silence into music, stillness into imagination. And tonight, as you drift slowly toward sleep, you too can step into their world, into a place where boredom wasn't an enemy, but a companion that taught people how to dream.